Hello, you're listening to ReedyGeeks, a Walt Disney World podcast. My name is Andrew, and I'm joined by Sean, who's starting a Change.org petition to bring back wishes. How many more of those signatures do you need, Sean?
49,999.
Nice. Okay, you're almost there. And Hazard Pay JJ.
Ariel, Tinkerbell, JJ. That's all. Those are only three people that get hazard pay.
In today's episode, we're exploring our top 5 unpopular opinions at the Walt Disney World Resort. So I'll start us off with my number 5 unpopular opinion, and I think our moderate resorts are kind of pointless. I think they're too expensive to really catch people who want to save some bucks, but yet they don't give you that location amenity that the deluxe resorts get you. So I'd rather just get a baller Airbnb, rent a car, and not stay at a moderate resort. I don't think it really gives you enough benefit. And I actually do think Disney agrees with me, and you can see that through building the Grand Casino Tower and by making the Skyliners at Caribbean Beach. I bet they were trying to get more people to stay there because people didn't think they were, thought they were pointless.
Well, they want to get people to stay at those hotels because maybe people weren't staying at the nicer hotels. You're saying the moderate resorts aren't worth it because you're not, I guess, the bang for your buck.
Yeah, you're not getting...
I could argue that you're getting even less bang for your buck at the deluxe resorts, because what are you really getting? The bars, the lounges, the restaurants, none of those things are things that other people who are staying there can't get. So if you make amenities for the deluxe resorts that are more enticing for people to stay there, you make the value of what you're paying better.
So I would say location. Location is the main reason for why deluxe resorts why someone might think they're worth it. Because when you leave Epcot, you're not walking to the bus station to get on a bus to go to the Caribbean and then have to wait until your bus stop. You're just walking right out and going to your room in Beach Club. You're there in 5 minutes. I think that's the real reason for where the value is in deluxe. But I agree with you. Like the restaurants, anyone can use the restaurants.
I don't disagree with you about the moderate resorts, because for the exact opinion that the $210 a night average price for those is more than what you're probably paying in that direct area for an Airbnb.
Or the Marriott.
Right. Or one of the Disney Springs area hotels that are $179 a night or something, and you're getting the almost the same value at a moderate resort than you are at a branded hotel that isn't Port Orleans.
And we're talking 300s now, though. The moderate resorts are in the $300 range.
I don't know if this just doesn't bode well for the value resorts. They're almost bringing like a room at Pop Century. The difference between a room at Pop Century and a room at Port Orleans is nowadays it's very, very slim. The difference, like the beds are nicer, the bathrooms are nicer, they're redoing the rooms, so you're paying. That's why I will support Pop Century till the day I die as a great place to stay if you're really not interested in spending buku bucks on a hotel room, because you're getting nice amenities, better than the All Stars and better than probably like a Holiday Inn.
I think that is a good point. I think the Skyliner really makes Pop Century look even better,
more desirable,
even more desirable, because that's two.
Oh, that's
parts.
right. It's a starting point.
It's
Art of Animation
parts.
and Pop Century are a launching point of the Skyliner.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is also something that was on mine that I wanted to talk about, the resorts. I just don't think that a place, I don't care how close it is to the Magic Kingdom, you can't convince me that the Contemporary is worth $700 a night. If I want to go to California Grill, I still have to pay, like $80 a person to have dinner there.
Yeah.
And anyone, I can take an Uber there. I could stay at a $200 Marriott, and the room part, the bed that you sleep in, is probably better.
Yeah, but then now you're Ubering to Transportation Ticket Center. Getting
sure.
monorails.
If you rent a car, you're paying for parking every day.
Yep.
You're not only you're paying for parking, you got to deal with trams, the Ticket and Transportation Center. You got to take the monorail. Any other park, you're either walking a quarter mile from your car to the park, or you're taking that long, shuttle thing.
Yeah, that is something to weigh. But if you're talking about ways to maximize your budget, there's a lot of options of places to stay in Disney, and I do think Disney knows that, and that's why all these resorts are getting upgraded, because I think Disney's losing a big edge that they used to have, which was
I think
the bubble used to be a huge edge, and I don't think it's an edge anymore.
No, it's the only. I think the only edge you really have is just the transportation. The perk of staying on property is as small as it's ever been, and I think that they're realizing that and trying to do things to bring you back, whether it's through offers or through new travel options,
through one-time expenses, as opposed to hiring the Magical Express again and having a whole extra payroll. It's like, well, if we upgrade the beds in the rooms, people will come back, right? It's like one-time expenses. We just bought new mattresses.
Do extra magic hours anymore?
They do, but it's for every park for a half hour before park opens.
For all guests.
For all guests staying on property.
And they only and some parks, they only open a section of the park. Like Magic Kingdom, they only open Tomorrowland and Fantasyland. They don't.
It used to be like a full 2 hours, didn't it?
Well, sometimes when it was evening magic hours, it would
stay up much later.
It could stay open. That's one thing that they're trying to do with Deluxe. I think they kind of see what you guys are saying, that the value of Deluxe isn't really there. They offer one night a week, or it's 2 nights a week, either at Magic Kingdom or at Epcot. You can stay for, I think, 2 hours later. It's evening magic hours.
So Deluxe gets
only for Deluxe guests. Yeah,
wow. That's interesting.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
And that's the walkability, Disney transportation, like you were saying. We now live in an age with Uber on demand transportation, right?
I can't. Every time I've been to Disney in the last 4 to 5 years, we've Ubered and Lyfted everywhere.
Yeah,
We're not waiting for the buses anymore.
Right. And I think they know that, and I wouldn't be surprised.
But if you're using Uber and Lyft for transportation, even when you're staying on resort, why not stay off resort and spend the same amount of money and have a better bed?
Unless you can walk there. Unless you can walk.
Unless you can walk there and you're not, but also, unless you can walk there and you can justify $500 extra a night.
It's a luxury.
I don't value the cost of the beach club or the yacht club because I can walk into the International Gateway. I would rather spend the $8 or the $9 on the lift from Pop Century and go in the main gate.
Disney, I'm open to being swayed. If you want to send me a stay at one of your deluxe resorts, I am listening.
Maybe some free DVC points or something like that.
Yeah, whatever. Just toss them my way. I'm open. I'm an open book. I can be converted.
So, JJ, did you give us your number 5?
I had a very similar one for 5 with wanting to talk about the deluxe resorts possibly being capped, and I think we did a very thorough job of that. So I'll let you go on to number 4.
My number 4, I'm going to say, is breakfast reservations are not only pointless, but they are offensive and wasteful.
Breakfast reservations?
Breakfast reservations. There's no reason to have a sit-down meal for breakfast at Walt Disney World.
What could be more important than a little something to eat?
Yeah, I guess the only reason I could
But what about
imagine,
if you're not going to the park that day? What if you're going? What if you're?
I'm gonna need you to elaborate on
I
this.
need more. I need more than this because I don't mind going. Like if you had a resort day and you wanted to go to Boma for breakfast, like you should. I think that's fine.
when you have a resort day. So if I have a resort day, I want to sleep in a bit, right? And then I want to get to the pool, and I want to start my day. So I feel like and this might just be for me, but I'd always rather get something quick and then get going and started, because in Disney, the beginning of the day is so valuable for in getting into the parks, doing anything. That's when you're going to find the least wait time, the less crowded pool. You want to hit that slide in the beginning of the day
before the kids pee in the pool.
Yes, before they have to shut down the pool for a floater. you want to get in there and enjoy it.
I think the breakfast reservations are mostly for
characters.
Yeah, kids and families. I think a family of 4 or 5 who knows they can go to breakfast and check the box of having a meal and meeting the characters their kids want to meet is a good value, because then you don't have to wait in line for autographs. You don't have to wait in line for a picture. You get a meal. Everyone has their Mickey waffle. We did a breakfast at Ohana one time, and I don't know, the meal was kind of bad, but the characters come up to the table. It's for kids. It's for kids.
Yeah, let them go, right? Let them go,
Let the
waste
kids
their
go.
time, and their resources, and I'm going to go and jump ahead of them on all the rides. And
I mean, I do think there's an exception, again, especially for families, is a park where there may not be as much to do all day. And you know what? Having a 10:30 a.m. breakfast
in the park.
In the park might not be the worst
Where did
idea.
you mean? Where did you mean breakfast reservations?
Even at 10:30, when the parks normally open at 9, even at 10:30, it's still good time to get on the rides. It's going to be at like 1 p.m. Between 12 and 3 or 4. That's when like the busiest part of the day.
Well,
then sit down and have a lunch. You know.
But here's an interesting thing. Animal Kingdom opens at 8 in the morning, and they have the Tusker House, which is character dining.
Yeah.
You can have breakfast there at like 10:30. You could have already been on that whole side of the park. You could have been on Kilimanjaro Safaris, both the Pandora rides, and then
You're pretty much done with the park.
what? Well, you got a single rider line, Everest.
Yeah.
No, you're already at the point where you can. That's the only ride you have left to do is
Right.
and pray that the dinosaur ride is open because it goes down all the time and is about to get demolished. Like, there's nothing else. Like,
Go the way of the dinosaurs.
right. I think there's exceptions to your rule.
Okay, I think at this point in my life, you know, no kids.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
it's just
I'm
me and
not gonna-
Emily.
yeah.
It's actually funny when my brother-in-law Michael hears this episode because we were just talking last night, and he was like, "I know you guys are breakfast people," and I was like, "When have I ever been a breakfast person?" So, it'll be, hey, Michael, how you doing? All right, so JJ,
My number 4, I don't think this may not be controversial enough to even discuss, but it just says, let them eat cake. But actually, I mean, serve booze at the Magic Kingdom.
Ooh, okay, that is controversial.
Is it?
I think that is,
Okay.
yeah.
It depends.
I don't think
who
it's
you
an
ask.
unpopular opinion. I think you know, I want to go to Gaston's Tavern and have a big like stein of beer.
That would be cool.
Right? That'd be so much fun. It'd be so much better than
People get so weird about there being alcohol in the Magic Kingdom. And part of me gets it. Because I know what we're like in Epcot. You know, like by the time we get to Morocco and France, and it's been like, you know, several hours of just nonstop drinking. If they introduced places if every land in the Magic Kingdom had a bar or a drink cart or something, it would become a part of your day. Like, you'd want to get a drink in each part, and then it would turn into everyone's drinking in the Magic Kingdom, and I just feel like that's where everyone goes, like with the kids. I understand as someone who enjoys consuming alcohol in Walt Disney World, I kind of get it. I kind of get where that's the only
Well,
part
maybe.
they're reeling it in, or if maybe there's just one place. No, is there not a place is there not a
there
bar
are
you can
a
go
couple
to?
places, but there's no formal bar. If you get if you have sit down reservations somewhere,
I had a beer at Be Our Guest.
Yes.
Sit down.
Yeah,
a
if, you have
sit-down meal.
if you have sit-down meal reservations, there are drink options. But if you don't have a reservation,
You're not walking around the park
There's
with a
no
cup.
walking around. You got to have it in the restaurant. Maybe the workaround is that there's bars that are more similar to Oga's Cantina, where
It's reservation based.
You're in
You
the
can't
no,
leave.
you're in the bar. You don't.
Yeah.
So
You
like
can't
a
leave,
couple more
yeah.
places where you're in the bar and you have a drink and then you go out and enjoy the rest of your day.
Sure.
Rather than having drink carts everywhere, you say, "Oh, I'm going to have a beer at Gaston's," and you go into Gaston's and you
Yeah.
have the beer there and you have to have it there. Maybe that's enough of a workaround. But I think that park can be such a nightmare if dads that were dragged there against their will and they want to have 3 beers. I think let dad have 3 beers.
You know what you could do though? You could just go to like there's a drink cart right before you get on the monorail at Polynesian. You just grab 2 drinks right there and chug them before you get in there.
Yeah, that makes you look a lot worse.
Yeah.
So
let me go get my 3 monorail beers before I hit the Magic Kingdom.
so
Pre-gaming the park is not as nice as being like, it's 2:00 in the afternoon.
I like
There's
that
hour
with beer.
rides for everything else. Dad is going to Gaston's for a beer.
We support the dads that want the beers.
I think you might be getting your wish. I mean, they're talking about having a lounge in Adventureland that's based on pirates. They say the word lounge. Who knows what that means?
Right. I mean, it would be fun if it was a Pirates of the Caribbean
Or tavern.
themed.
Tavern.
It has to be a tavern. Yeah.
Yeah. If it was a Pirates of the Caribbean themed version of what Oga's is, it could be kind of fun. Let's see. And then maybe you put one on the other side of the park in Tomorrowland and you say, here you go. There's 2 places to drink in Magic Kingdom. Maybe that's...
You know what's going to bother me, though, is that they're all going to be pre-made cocktail drinks that are over sugary and...
Well, I mean, that's
Oga's.
half of what Oga's is. Yeah.
No, I mean, you can't... It bothers me when you have a bar and you can't just get, like, vodka soda. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's
Or
done
gin and
purposely because they want to keep... They still
they
want
don't
to
want it
keep
to be
you...
that kind of...
But then, like, I mean, on the same token, you think that having a designated lounge to do your drinking, I think of how we went into Oga's and how we came out just an hour later.
That's true.
It's just as bad as
We're gonna be
walking around.
throwing people
right?
around.
Like,
Get me to the haunted
the
mansion.
damage is done. You're not walking around the park with an open container, but you're walking around the park
Well, you
after
can also only do...
having 6 drinks in 45 minutes.
But that's also limiting circumstances, right? Like, not every person is going to do that. But if there's drink carts all over the place, everyone that wants to drink is going to have 6, 7 drinks. There's going to be people that are going to see the bar, go, I got to go in, I got to drink it there. I'll go in and chug 1, and then that's it. Or I'm not even going to bother. Like, there's going to be a lot of people that see that and so go, that's not worth my time at Magic Kingdom. I'm too busy.
I wonder, how many people do you think sneak alcohol into Magic Kingdom?
I almost don't want to know because that's
Probably a lot.
so sad.
It's probably a lot of people.
You know my ice mule?
Yeah.
So we were going on a resort tour, right? And I filled up my ice mule with some beers, and we were going from Poly to Wilderness Lodge. And to do that, we had to go to the Magic Kingdom by boat and then go by boat again to Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah.
We went through security to Magic Kingdom because when you get off the boat, you go immediately through security. And they let me through with a cooler full of beer.
So did they open the bag?
No. It's because it's those big metal. So I don't know if you've seen yet these big metal detectors that just detect weapons. Like they're just looking for weapons. You just walk through at regular speed.
I mean, the security at these parks is so uncomfortably lax for the society we live in. I don't think it would be hard at all to sneak in.
I think that's not what they're looking for. That's
right?
just
No,
not what
they're definitely not. But like if you
because they don't have a problem with
were wearing
Right.
a backpack, or a girl had a larger bag, and you put a couple bottles on the very bottom of it, all they're just doing a cursory look. They open it up and they peek around. They
Right.
wand the first 2 layer of things and see if there's anything in there.
weapons.
Right. So yeah, I mean, if you want to put a little bottle of vodka or a little bottle of whiskey in the bottom of your bag, and then you're good for the day.
That's a good point. I didn't go through a bag check.
Did we not do that? When that one big trip we did we not bring like a water bottle or 2 of shitty Costco vodka?
I think actually we did.
into Epcot,
And
because there were people that just weren't interested in spending all the money to drink around the world.
Hypothetically.
Yes, this is all hypothetical.
Hypothetical. This hypothetical trip.
I don't think that was
for legal reasons. This is all hypothetical. I'm pretty sure we did have people.
me in parks where there was alcohol already being served.
I don't think we did it for Magic Kingdom.
Oh, no, definitely not Magic
No.
Kingdom. But I'm thinking
But for Epcot-
we definitely had.
I think
what I would call contraband.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically,
I think
on our persons at all times.
There
Allegedly.
may have been some
We may have.
tomfoolery. Yeah, there may have been some tomfoolery.
I'm thinking of a specific person. I won't name their names.
He He gets hazard pay. That's all I know.
I did not do that.
I paid for all of my booze that day.
Actually, unemployment paid for all my booze that day. I got.
Is that when you were on unemployment?
Yeah, that
Long
was
time
when,
ago.
That was I had a job at a now defunct camera store called 6th Avenue Electronics, and they fired me in the height of the economic crash. So
We got that extra Obama pay.
Yeah.
God, you got unemployment for so long.
Unemployment lasted for the entirety of my senior year of college.
That's awesome.
And also, apparently, I didn't actually need to look for a job because I was in college and training for employment opportunities.
Wow.
So all I had to do was if
Be
they
like,
ever,
I'm in college. Yeah, bring Obama back, right? Thanks,
God
Obama.
Bless America.
It is the American way.
That's right. What's your number 4, Sean?
The one that kept coming to mind for me, and we talked about it a little bit prior to recording, but my big thing is I feel like nowadays they're forcing IP everywhere. My unpopular opinion is that not everything needs to have characters. Not everything needs to be character-y. Not every restaurant, bar, lounge, bathroom, hotel room, experience. Not everything has to be taken from something that is existing. Like the example that I give the most, and you never agree with me, is the bar that's in the Grand Floridian. They just throw a Beauty and the Beast, Beauty and the Beast themed bar into a Victorian era hotel.
Yeah.
And it's just like Beauty and the Beast is French.
But it's very tasteful.
Sure, I don't give a hoot about taste. It's just like just make it a different theme. It doesn't always have we are shoehorning IP into just every nook and cranny they can find. I just think it's kind of overkill.
So I will say that I think they're actually doing the opposite with resorts.
Arendelle is another big offender of that. Norway.
They are de-theming resorts, taking really the theme out of resorts and like just making it like character light. You'll still have characters in there or something like that, but I guess this is different than what you're talking about.
Actually, I think this is what he's talking about because they're taking away the theme of the contemporary and
putting
inserting light Incredibles theming.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So why are we shoehorning the Incredibles into the contemporary? Because they're both mid-century modern vibes? Sure, whatever. Like, this is exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And I actually have on my list almost the exact opposite opinion as an unpopular opinion. And it is, actually, IP in the parks is good. Part of what makes Disney World great is how they immerse you in lands, worlds, galaxies you are already familiar with, but then they give you a new perspective or story or moment. IP is a great tool to give you that. Who isn't going to take Batu over a Lights Motor Action stunt show? Radiator Springs Racers is better than Test Track, and I'm confident Tiana will be better than Splash Mountain, and I might have to duck when I say this, because Frozen is better than Maelstrom. Do I have to duck? I think I do.
John's not happy about that one.
And, like, no one loves Avatar, but everyone loves Pandora.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like,
so it
doesn't matter.
They can take the IP and elevate the IP.
And then maybe this is a part B, right? Okay, just spitballing here. But maybe Disney shouldn't be focusing on shoehorning popular franchises into things that exist already. Maybe they should be looking at building original seeming lands that are built on IP that maybe needs a second life, like Avatar, like how Pandora helps make Avatar relevant and popular again forever. Maybe there's a Disney property that they already have in their portfolio that's a little underappreciated. You know, maybe it's one of those Pixar movies that came out during the pandemic. Onward. Who said that?
Yeah.
I said that.
So
Was that the Chris Pratt one?
Yeah.
Are they aliens or whatever?
No, they're like, it's like all mythical creatures.
Okay.
So they're like, it's really good.
Yeah, it was good. Avatar, it helps that it was the highest grossing film of all time. right?
But everyone saw it, but no one cared about it.
No one cares. Yeah.
The thing is, though, when you are a huge company like Disney and you are spending $1 billion on a new land, how do you justify it on something that hasn't made you money in the past? So, like an IP that hasn't made you money. So that's I agree with you. That's I think that's
it's a tough sell.
It's a tough sell.
It's a tough sell. I understand it's a tough sell
for a publicly traded company.
It's a tough sell. It's a tough sell the way that business is done. But I'll say that, people want IP. You're giving people what they want. Yeah.
So you know what's funny is I was going to save this for number 1, but I completely agree with you, JJ, and do not agree with you.
I'll go.
Yes. So I had mine as I hate when people say Walt wouldn't have wanted this, right? Because Disneyland in itself is one giant commercial for Walt Disney, right? It was originally designed as a big commercial for all of his shows, and all of the sponsors he got to help him out with it, like the House of the Future. That was just a commercial for that company, right?
Right.
Like the whole point of Disneyland was to make him money and to synergy. He came up with synergy here. It wasn't Eisner. It was Disney, right? But Fantasyland, you're taking a ride through all of his movies, and now you're supposed to go back and when it's re-released in theaters, go watch it. So I think that when people complain Walt would be rolling in his grave that we're adding an IP into Frontierland. No, he just didn't have enough IP. He would have put more IP into Frontierland, into Adventureland, if he had the IP available. Davy Crockett, that's IP. He had a live action show for Davy Crockett, and that's why you get Frontierland and the Davy Crockett theme and everything.
Right.
So, that's one thing that's always kind of bothered me there.
You're saying Walt Disney wanted to make money?
Yeah, he wanted to make money, and he wanted to promote his own movies. Yes.
This is shocking news.
Yeah.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
But I kind of agree, Sean, that you can go overboard, and they could go overboard with certain IP too, like something that made them a lot of money in the movies, and they're like, okay, let's flood the a park with this IP.
I think they went too hard, too fast with Frozen.
Well, I think they didn't go fast enough. It took a while to get that Frozen ride. It's just, and you did it disservice by taking another ride and repurposing. It's kind of like what Tiana is right now, right? Like Tiana should have its own ride. And maybe
right, and
but it is getting it. But
yes, but in the thought that it is going to be its own ride, but it's always going to be in the shell of Splash Mountain.
I actually think they jumped the shark on Frozen because it's in dedicated land territory, not just ride territory.
Yeah.
What other properties do they own that have 4 movies either in the works or released?
Toy Story.
Avatar has a land. Star Wars has a land. Toy Story has a land. Frozen, with 4 movies in the works, should have a land.
Right, but I don't necessarily disagree with that. But it shouldn't have They should have.
It shouldn't be the Norway Pavilion.
They should have just bastardized the Norway Pavilion.
Arendelle should not be the Norway Pavilion in Epcot, but the Frozen ride's still better than Monster.
Now, is it Disney's fault or is it Norway's fault for not continuing to front the bill? Hey,
I
Norway.
Support, if we have any listeners from Norway, I love and support you all. Don't listen to this man.
I love the gift shop with the nice smells.
I had a cologne from there once.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
It is really nice.
Really nice. Norway hating Andrew.
All right, I'm going to go on to number 3 here.
Yeah, you are.
And number 3, I'm going to stick with what we were talking about, Splash Mountain, right? And you know how a lot of people complain that Tiana's Bayou Adventure isn't going to fit Frontierland, right? Well,
where are you going with this?
I'm here to tell you that Splash Mountain never fit Frontierland. Splash Mountain takes place in Georgia after the Civil War, and there is nothing about Frontierland about that.
Is it
the only problem?
Adventurelandy?
What's that?
More Adventurelandy.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't actually. Honestly, I wouldn't know where to put it. It's just it takes place in Georgia. Yes, it may look aesthetically like it's Frontierland, but doesn't Frozen aesthetically look like it's Norway, right? So wouldn't you have the same complaint about Frozen as you would about Splash Mountain?
No.
I mean, you do have a point. I would say
It never deserved to be there. It never fit.
time makes you very used to things.
Yeah.
And the idea that Frontier is just a catch-all for, it's wilderness
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's animals or whatever. I think people didn't realize that it was location dependent.
And I think until when everyone, like, I don't want to say everyone faked their outrage, but when everyone decided to get all up in arms about a Splash Mountain closing, so few people actually knew what it was based on.
Right.
Like the Song of the South. Like, people didn't realize. We're not gonna get into this. We're not gonna get into it. But I'm just saying, so few people actually knew the history itself, which is relating to the point that, like, it just a log flume in a
total cute
wooden
story about a couple animals.
Right. So it could very
That's
easily
what some people
fit
thought of it
into,
as.
But if you were making it in this day and age with the internet, Splash Mountain today, I think people would be complaining that it doesn't fit Frontierland.
Absolutely.
And Frontierland does progress over time, or does progress as you go further into it.
What is technically Frontierland? It's Big Thunder Mountain.
Right. Big Thunder Mountain.
Splash Mountain.
Pecos Bills.
Pecos Bill.
And then
Country Bears.
And the Country Bears. And then up to, like, the shooting arcade is still Frontierland. And I think right up to Liberty Tavern.
Right.
Liberty Tavern's like Liberty Square.
Liberty Square.
But it kind of hugs it a little bit. Like Liberty Tavern has.
But on the opposite side,
Tavernish.
it is Adventureland.
Then yeah.
With Pirates and the Jungle Cruise.
Yep.
Well, yeah, it's kind of. Eventually, it's kind of.
You get the fry shop
behind it,
Yeah.
right?
To me, that whole area of the park is all just one mesh.
It is hard to figure out where Liberty.
I can kind of
ends.
tell where Liberty ends because the buildings stop looking like the American Adventure and they start looking more like,
Wild West.
Yeah.
saloons and shooting galleries. But like,
Just put the Wild West stuff in Big Thunder and beyond, and then put that whole area that's currently Frontierland. Just make it all New Orleans.
yes,
Yeah.
and that's where you can have a bar.
You could put a Pat O'Brien's in there.
An in-park
dueling piano bar.
Yeah.
That serves
hurricanes.
fully
strength.
powered hurricanes.
Full-strength hurricanes.
Oh, Lewis, give anything to be up there jamming with the big boys.
All right, JJ, you're number 2.
Disney Hollywood Studios, they probably spent almost $2 billion between Toy Story Land and Star Wars Land and Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway. And so, like, in the 10 years, they spent, like, somewhere between $1.5 billion and $2 billion there. And I love what we have, but it's still a half-day park. It's still a half-day park because, guess what? I don't want to spend a full day waiting 2 hours online for Slinky Dog and then 2 hours online for Tower of Terror. I don't want to spend 8 hours of my day online, and then worse, when it's hot and I want to cool off. The best things to do that aren't rides or Muppets 3D are outdoor shows.
Or alcohol.
Or just to go to Baseline Tavern and get drunk. Which, I mean, I'm not opposed to that. But yeah, they need C-ticket attractions, a second thrill coaster. They need shade and a playground area in Toy Story Land.
I think
desperately.
That's a really
because
good.
There's no shade in Toy Story Land at all. They got rid of a perfectly good playground that could have just been like your toy sized when it was the Honey I Shrunk the Kids playground.
Absolute classic.
Just use the same playground.
Yeah. And you're absolutely right that it's not. They need shows and they need C-tickets. They don't need any more.
Well, they have shows. They've got like 5 shows. They've got a Little Mermaid show. They've got the Frozen sing-along.
No Little Mermaid yet.
The Little Mermaid's coming back, though.
Right.
They got a Frozen sing-along. They got a Beauty and the Beast thing. They got the Indiana Jones stunt show. They got Muppets 3D. That's 5 shows.
Yeah.
And then they have the Nick Disney Junior, Nick Jr., the Disney Junior, the dance party thing.
How that is not Bluey yet, it blows my mind.
Yeah, I know.
Is Bluey Disney?
It's on Disney Plus.
It's on Disney Plus. Is it Disney?
They got to get the theme park rights to it. It's not produced by Disney.
Oh, and there's a Lightning McQueen show thing too. So okay,
Yeah,
where are we
that's
at? There's 7 shows.
Yeah.
We don't need more shows.
No one goes to those shows
and I'm
anymore.
still out of there
That's
by
the
1
problem.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's that movie, the Walt movie, which is actually very good, but no one wants to watch a 40-minute long movie about Walt Disney.
I did.
I've seen it.
Is that one man's dream?
Yeah.
Absolute classic.
It's great. And then you can go to Potato Land after.
Unpopular opinion, one man's dream is priority viewing.
All about how he was trying to make a commercial out of Disneyland. Okay, Sean, you're number 2.
I'm going to use that. The one man's dream is priority viewing. That's an unpopular opinion.
It goes one man's dream, then Rise of Resistance, then Slinky.
Yeah, you got to rope drop. You got to rope drop one man's
You got
dream.
to be the first guy in the theater.
You know, everyone's gonna say, "Oh no, go to Tower of Terror, go to Rock and Roller Coaster."
I got a tip for you.
Okay, so then I'm going to go to my number 1, and I believe that I'm not even sure if this is unpopular. I think the Skyliner is better than
This guy, the
monorail.
Skyliner.
The
It's definitely
Skyliner.
unpopular, but monorail's iconic.
Yeah.
I think
The monorail has, and I say this as a fully fledged dues-paying member of the club, the monorail is a cult fandom.
yeah.
I drink the monorail Kool-Aid. I love the monorail. But I think the Skyliner is better because it's more practical.
It's way more efficient.
It's more efficient, it's more practical. But to me, the monorail is less a... it's an attraction in itself. When I'm on the monorail, it is so few and far between a time where I'm using it to usually actually get somewhere. I was
Right.
like, oh, we got to ride the monorail. And
Right.
we'll just take it around. Or we'll go from hotel to
That's
hotel.
kind of how it is in Disneyland.
You know?
Where it's almost really a ride because it only makes
Right, like I'm-
one stop, and that's at the Disneyland Hotel / Downtown Disney.
Right. So when I'm riding the monorail, it's because you got to ride the monorail.
Yeah.
I don't think I would ride the Skyliner for fun. I would ride it for its efficiency. I don't think I would say, hey, let's go to wherever and just get on the Skyliner and ride it for an hour or two. I would sit on the same seat in the monorail, just ride that shit around all day.
Please stand clear of the doors.
So I gotta say, I think the Skyliner smells a lot better.
Stinky.
Okay, those monorails need like serious replacement or like refreshing. Yeah, they're quicker. Skyliner's quicker.
Well, isn't there
Right?
a built-in cross breeze in the Skyliner?
There is.
You're
yeah.
basically outside when you're in the Skyliner.
But I get worried too with now the new tower opening up at the Poly. Like the monorail's already way too crowded, right? And it's difficult to get on,
Put
especially
a new tower in Poly?
the
Yeah, they're
Poly's
adding
getting.
a DVC, like whole extra resort tower.
And it's a lot of rooms.
Isn't that what the huts were?
Yeah, but they're not enough, and also they're like
So they expanded
$10,000.
the Grand Floridian to DVC. There's a DVC section of the Grand Floridian.
Yeah.
They expanded. I guess you have Bay Lake Tower.
Yep.
Tower,
Right.
which is DVC. So now they're doing the Polynesian.
Yeah,
That's right.
Well, and it's been there for a while. They converted, I think, 2 of the longhouses to DVC already, and then they have those bungalows.
Bungalows.
But now they're getting a full tower,
Like a tower?
like a tower.
oh, it's big.
It's like a 5-6-story tower.
It's pretty big.
It's bigger than the Great Ceremonial Hall.
Have they started building it?
Yeah,
I have not been there in so freaking long.
JJ.
Okay. My number 1 take, a lot of the iconic snacks of Walt Disney World are underwhelming.
Yes.
They're underwhelming.
yes.
They're, especially anything, if you say, oh, get a Mickey shaped, it's not good. It's almost a guarantee to be average at best. Like the best 2 Mickey shaped things I can think of are the waffles, which are just average
Those are
waffles.
waffles.
Right. Those are waffles. You're going to have a good time, but they're not like, they're not better than regular waffles.
Have a good time.
They're not, right, but it's a waffle. Like is it significantly more enjoyable than an Eggo waffle? Maybe not.
Right.
Like,
Might be actually
just a
less.
waffle.
It's a
It's
little
just a
more. It's
waffle.
more difficult to eat.
This guy's about to take a huge dump on a Mickey-shaped ice cream bar.
No, Mickey-shaped ice cream bar, I think, was the other thing that I say, well, it's just vanilla ice cream and a little bit of chocolate shell.
what's
It's good.
the-
It's premium chocolate. Okay.
But, like, Mickey pretzel, terrible. It's the worst pretzel on the property is the Mickey-shaped one.
Yeah.
What's the best pretzel on property?
Either the one at Baseline Tap House, the beer.
Doesn't Germany have a great pretzel?
It's got a pretty good one. Yeah,
got a good
but
bratwurst.
you know what
Yeah,
else
good
is?
brat.
You know what else is good though? And the location of it always changes, but they have a pretzel that doesn't look like much, but it's stuffed with pepper jack cheese, and it's good.
You don't get the pretzel at Germany unless you're in Beer Garden.
No,
is it?
You can get it.
Well, you can
get it at the beer
I'm
cart.
thinking of like the pretzel bread that they give you inside, which is
No, I'm thinking
so
of,
good.
of a giant pretzel, which is
like
again much better than the Mickey
like a
shaped
Bavarian
one.
pretzel. Yeah.
My only exception for the iconic snack that actually is good in Walt Disney World is Dole Whips.
Yeah, the Dole Whip.
The Dole Whip is the only one that's good. Turkey legs suck. The churro is an average churro. Yeah, I know you made a face.
Well, can I say that I think there's so much hate on the turkey leg now that it's
coming back.
it's an unpopular opinion that the turkey leg is good.
It's one of those things that Disney fans like
Love to make fun of.
they love to act like it's like maybe this will be my number one is I hate the way people get like so fake nostalgic and like up in arms about like no one cares about the Country Bear Jamboree. Who cares?
no one cared.
Who cares about Figment?
They laughed. Oh, well, here's the thing.
No one cares.
People
Not anymore.
actually do like Figment.
It's 2024.
But they're not us because we didn't grow up with the good version
Who's
of the
the
ride.
stupid
That's
teddy
true.
bear in Epcot?
But most of the people that
Oh, but no, they keep trying to make him work. They keep trying to make fetch happen with that guy.
Throw
But
him in the lagoon.
He's very, very popular in Japan.
Okay.
And they tried to import him to the U.S.
he can stay there.
What's the name of the bear?
I know he's in Disneyland more than he's in Disney World.
But where he is, he's the king of Disney, Tokyo Disney. That bear is like
Rivals
really-
Mickey.
I was gonna say, what does Mickey have to say about this? No, but like people
Mickey
are
takes a back seat.
people are gonna all of a sudden start loving and defending the turkey leg. They don't care about the turkey leg. They don't care about it. They
Well,
just
they'll
want
only
to
say
like
that
rally behind something as some like cult Disney.
I like my my ham tasting turkey leg. That shouldn't taste like ham.
You're an animal.
I like it.
I've seen someone do one thing with the turkey leg, and I was like, "That's a pro move." Is
Throw it out after buying it.
No. And it's the only way I'll ever be like, "Okay, you did something good there." He went to the park with a loaf of bread, bought a turkey leg, and turned it into like 5 sandwiches and fed his whole family.
That's just
with
meal
it.
That's
prepping.
amazing. That's amazing.
And I'll be like, okay. So he gave his family 5 ham sandwiches. That's fine.
He brought a knife to carve it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
They had like Thanksgiving dinner over a garbage
Picture all
can.
the weird tendons and stuff that are in that turkey leg.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I agree with you on the food part that the snacks
Yeah, but
really aren't that great.
but that's gimmicky though. Like that's,
Yeah.
you know.
What about new snacks though? Like what about like everyone's all up in arms about these egg rolls, right? The egg roll cart in Adventureland.
Oh, the egg roll cart in Adventureland. The last time I was in Magic Kingdom, it was still the anniversary celebration, and they had the pastrami spring roll, and it was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good. The cheeseburger ones is pretty good.
What the hell are you guys talking about?
There's a little spring roll cart, like right where Adventureland starts.
Okay.
It's almost
like by the Jungle Cruise.
yeah, and it's even before the Jungle Cruise. It's
before the bridge.
It's basically
go over.
It's
Okay.
basically next to the restaurant where Winnie the Pooh
Palace?
is. Yeah, Crystal Palace. So it's like basically if you just leave there and start walking to Adventureland, it's right there. Just a little cart that sells spring rolls, and they usually have 2 different flavors. It's like usually cheeseburger and then something else.
People
It's
don't like
often
this?
pepperoni pizza is one.
No, people love them, but that's the point that he was made. Like, I wanted to ask, is that too
Those-
overrated?
some
Just
of
like
them
people
are-
love those. Other
Well, some
snacks.
of them are actually good though. Some of them aren't. Like it's a lot of it is gimmicky food or like something you can't mess up. Like it's a deep fried mozzarella and pepperoni. Like
Oh my god, it sounds so good.
it's great.
Yeah.
But it's also like there's a ceiling to that too, right?
Right.
It's basically a Totino's pizza roll.
Yeah, it's a large.
For Disney's hungry guys.
The only game time snack that satisfies my hungry guy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you just remembered a tagline of a
SNL,
20-year-old. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get the reference.
Yeah, go home and Google that. That's a good video. So Sean, your number one there was what? What was that again? Can you
I don't
remind
like
us?
when people pretend to be upset about nostalgia.
Right. And so what I wanted
Get
to mention
over it.
about that was that a lot of the people that love Figment now, JJ was saying they had the good Figment, but I don't think that's true. Like, it's a lot of Gen Z that loves Figment, or young millennials too. And that's been a terrible ride for 30 years.
Right. Exactly. I actually have one more point. I don't know how.
Yeah. Bonus
a
point.
bonus point, and
I could have miscounted.
it's that
Duffy.
The rides-
His name's Duffy. Duffy the bear.
Duffy the Bear. Duffy the
Duffy.
Bear. Thank you.
Throw him in the lake.
My last point that I wanted to bring up to you guys, see what you guys thought, is the rides aren't what makes Walt Disney World good compared to Disneyland. Lots of families, and we were all in families that did this growing up, I think, where you went crazy over maximizing how many rides you could go on in a day, trying to manipulate Fast Passes or Genie Plus or whatever to try to like game a system and win the day by riding more rides than anyone else. You know what park is better for that? The park where all the rides are right next to each other. Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually
It's infinitely better for that.
What's your ultimate point there?
My ultimate point is that everyone talks about Walt Disney being like a special place for the rides. I actually think it's the vibes.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Because you could go. There have been days like where you spend a full day in the Magic Kingdom, and like when you think about it, you went on what, 5 rides?
Yeah, 6 rides.
Like
Right.
you went on Space Mountain, you went on Splash Mountain, you went on Pirates of the Caribbean, you went on Jungle Cruise.
You went on one of the Fantasyland rides.
Maybe you did Haunted Mansion. But you spent 9 hours in that park and you went on 5 rides, but you had a great day. No, I fully agree with you.
Because I think Walt Disney World, they excel at providing theming and these like little escapes from the craziness that is a theme park or the theme parks they've created. They have these like epic hotel lobbies or like they actually have good sit down restaurants.
Yeah.
Where like
Yeah, I don't think you could say that about Universal. I think like Universal, if you spent an entire day in Islands of Adventure and you went on 4 rides, you'd be like, "What did I
had
wasted
a
my
bad
entire
day."
day?"
Yeah.
I ate green eggs and ham and almost got sick.
Yeah.
Like
Like I spent an entire day in Epcot and I went on 2 rides. Great day.
great day.
Great day.
So the Disney World was originally known as what, Vacation Kingdom of the world, right? Vacation Kingdom, and that's because like they wanted it to be more than just a theme park. They really wanted to lean into resorts, right? It wasn't called Disneyland Resorts, but it was called Walt Disney World Resorts. So I think that's a good point, JJ. And you know, Disneyland needs to have those rides because if I'm done with Disneyland, I leave, and then I'm no longer giving Walt Disney my money, right? But if I'm in Disney World, I leave, and I'm still giving Disney my money because I'm going back to Polynesian and going to Ohana, or I'm going to Disney Springs, or I'm going to another park, or any of the resorts that they have. So they don't really need the rides as much, except to draw you in.
Well, they need the rides to get you to say, yes, I'm going to go to Disney World. They also need the rides to manage the crowds, which I think they kind of forget sometimes.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's about it. Anyone have any last unpopular opinions they want
I've
to bring
said
out?
what I needed to say.
No, I feel really good about this.
Okay, very good. Do we have time for a mini game?
I'll squeeze one in. Okay, guys, I got a little game for you. I'm calling it Mouse King's Prop Bets. Not named after any sort of sports book.
No. And any relation is just pure coincidental.
Exactly. It's just a pure coincidence. It's a little later in the evening, but Magic Kingdom is still open. Do you think there is still a Genie Plus reservation for Dumbo right now? I'm going to go in the app.
Oh, in real life?
In real life, right now. It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock right now. 8 o'clock in the evening. The park's open till 11. Are there, like, if I wanted to do a Genie Plus reservation right now, is there one for Dumbo right now?
So I think it's important to say to everyone, right? It's 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night.
And the park's open till 11 p.m.
And the park's open till 11 p.m. Are there odds associated with this?
No, this is even money.
Even money.
There is 100% a Genie Plus reservation
100%.
for
I'm
Dumbo.
agreeing with that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to Dumbo the Flying Elephant.
Although if it was Barnstormer, we'd have a better, better choice there.
Oh boy, Dumbo the Flying Elephant. Where'd it go? It was just here.
It's great audio.
This will be cut.
But now you can't cut it.
Dumbo the Flying Elephant has a Genie Plus, and now, would you guys like to double or go double or nothing for when the return window starts?
Yeah. Oh, for when the return windows.
Is the return window within the 90 minutes of when the clock resets on the Genie Plus? Meaning before 9:45.
8:14. Is it before 9:45?
No. Families are going to be watching the fireworks. They're riding it afterwards.
Fireworks are at 9, right?
They're probably doing two. They're probably doing 9 and 11. Because the park's open till 11. They're probably doing two showings.
I'm saying yes.
You're saying within an hour and a half. You're saying outside. And Sean is correct. The return window starts at 10:30.
Double or nothing?
I think we just did double or nothing.
I don't know how that works.
This is from information. This is from information I pulled up earlier today. Again, even money. There is currently a one-way flight from JFK to MCO that costs less than $170 in the next 4 days.
JFK to MCO, less than
4 days. In the next 4 days.
Between now and Sunday.
Yeah.
At any time of the day. A flight that is less than $170.
One way, not round trip.
I'm trying to think, what's this weekend? Is Easter? No shot.
Easter weekend. Okay, but yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's just so low. I can't imagine that it's yes.
You guys are both correct, but after the 4 days, it drops significantly. You can find them for
you can go. You can fly out of JFK on JetBlue for like $130.
Yeah.
You ever use Hopper?
That's exactly what I used. Was Hopper. That's how I.
Yeah.
That's where I came up with the math from.
Hopper.
Right?
Yeah.
Send us money.
That's promo code ReedyGeeks. One word. Okay, last one that you can currently answer right now. Is there a dinner reservation for 3 tomorrow at Ohana or Le Cellier? So you've got 2 chances.
On a Thursday.
On a Thursday.
Absolutely.
On Holy Thursday?
On Holy Thursday.
I'm going to say no. There are no dinner reservations for 3 today or tomorrow at any of those restaurants.
But it's not. It wasn't today. And here's what's giving me pause.
Today and tomorrow.
Just tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow. Well, today or tomorrow.
Oh, today or tomorrow?
Today or tomorrow.
And it's one of those two. It's either one.
Actually,
the only
reason I'd say yes is because as of a couple hours ago, you could have just gotten a last minute cancellation.
It is much easier to get day of reservations at dining.
I'm going to say no.
You guys are correct. While there are no reservations at Ohana in the next day, there is a dinner at Le Cellier available for 3.
Wow. We should have done a double or nothing.
Yeah, I should have done a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Really trick you. I've got something that I'm going to call the future section, where I'm going to give you something that we can't answer right now. But I want to see if you guys think that my odds are in the right place.
Okay.
Okay? So my first prompt is Animal Kingdom will open its Dino Land replacement by summer of 2028.
Yes.
So I have those odds at plus 130. So just a little more.
So 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years.
I think this is gonna go
be an
fast.
aggressive expansion.
I also feel like it's gonna be like. You mean the whole thing has to be done? There's no more construction.
It's going to be
People are
fully open.
riding the
People are
rides.
riding rides.
Yeah.
Well, because I think that the dinosaur ride retheme is going to be done way before everything else is redone.
Mission accomplished.
You made it! I knew you would.
So if you're saying plus money, that means you don't think so.
I'm saying that it's a little bit of a coin flip, a little bit towards it's not going to be open until like later in 2028 would be my guess.
So the way that Epcot is
by summer 2028, I mean like the beginning of summer.
I don't think Disney can afford for this to take 4 years.
Yeah.
They gotta like what Universal's doing, they gotta turn it around.
Let me get some clarity on this. The way that Epcot is right now, where you have Communicore Hall has walls up, right? But the rest of World Celebration is you're able to walk around.
I'm considering Epcot done.
You're considering Epcot done. Okay, so
it's like one thing that's not done.
Yeah.
But all the stuff,
yeah,
I think it's done.
I'll tell you,
If the land itself doesn't look like the land that it is, if there's like a restaurant that's not open yet or whatever, like
that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But it has to be like basically there.
So I'm going to agree with Sean and say that it will be open.
Yeah.
I'm going to want worse odds on that, actually.
Oh, God.
I think
an alternate line.
I'm pretty confident. I think it's going to be open. And I think what Disney did making that deal with the district is a sign that they need to move fast on projects. They didn't want that to be over their heads for the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
They wanted to get that out of the way, that they're not going to be impeded in their construction and or their permits and everything like that, so that they can move fast on Dino Land and all the construction
Animal
that they
Kingdom,
need to do.
right.
Yeah. Or beyond Magic Kingdom or beyond Big Thunder.
I'll move on to my next one. The Sunday night Fox animation properties. So, you know, they bought Fox. That included things like The Simpsons and Family Guy and Bob's Burgers.
Oh my God, is Bob's Burgers Disney owned now?
Yep.
Bob's Burger Land.
When The Simpsons,
I need a Bob's Burgers restaurant.
When The Simpsons and Universal deal expires and Universal moves on, will we see, beyond just merch, these Fox properties entering one of the parks?
I don't think so.
Either by way of a restaurant or a land or like a Fox
show?
animation court or a 4D show.
You might get like a 4D show. I just think that it gets to a certain point where those shows are a little too crude for Disney.
I thought that a little lowbrow.
Yeah, like I don't think
Yeah.
you're ever going to get a Simpsons, because in order to effectively do a Simpsons land, it's got to be real. It's got to be authentic to the Simpsons. You got to have a Quickie Mart, you know. You got
Yeah.
to do stuff that Disney's just not going to do.
So then my odds again are low because I had that as plus 600.
I don't think so.
So I should really put that more to like plus 1,000.
I could see
Because I could totally see Disney's Hollywood Studios
Having like a Simpsons thing?
like a little like Fox animation courtyard, and it's got Bob's Burgers and Jimmy Pesto's, and then it's got like Moe's Tavern. I don't think they'd have Family Guy in there, but I think they'd have Simpsons and Bob's Burgers.
definitely couldn't have Family Guy in there. There's no way. I think it would be terrible. Fox Animation Courtyard would be so poorly done because, like you're saying, Sean, it wouldn't be authentic to the actual properties. I hope they don't do that. Just make money off of it from Disney Plus.
I also think that they should be trying to use the Simpsons lands in Universal as a way to get Marvel into Walt Disney World.
But Simpsons doesn't have the same draw
As it used to.
Yeah.
I think they're done with the Simpsons, I know.
No!
And then my last one. An adults-only Disney experience will exist in the next 10 years. Like, and I've got options here, maybe a specific cruise. Like if you book the Disney Wish in September, it's adults only. Maybe a Pleasure Island-esque section of a park or a completely new area. You know, maybe they make a Pleasure Island 2.0 in some of their undeveloped land. Or they section off part of a water park and set up like a Cancun resort or something. Something that's adults only, but within the confines of Walt Disney World.
I like all of those suggestions you just made. Those are all great suggestions.
I don't think they will, because I think if Disney was going to lean...
I actually put the odds at plus 200 because I think the Disney adult is such a strong market that...
I just think if Disney wanted to lean into drinking, the answer is right there. Just you've got World Showcase.
Haven't they already done that though?
No, Disney is Disney serves alcohol, but like they're not making shirts, drink around the world shirts. They're not like actively promoting the if Disney wanted to fully lean into the drinking, they would use drinking around the world and use the World Showcase.
I don't think it's in their best interest. I don't think they can promote drinking around the world ever or
binge drinking. They can't
binge drinking. You
they
can't.
can't.
But at the same, but I guess, but like if you're, I guess advertising and having an adult only area. I mean, what are you actually?
Well, I think that's Pleasure Island, and I think Pleasure Island was around today. It would be so much more successful. Like when I hear these stories of like all the different types of clubs and like
every night was New Year's Eve, baby.
Yeah, like the Adventures, the Adventurers Club, right?
Yeah, they had like one that was like a murder mystery every night.
Yeah,
it was like some role playing
I don't know.
stuff.
I think that Disney has
Comedy
I think that the new iteration of Disney Springs has enough nightlife. They've got jelly rolls. They've got they've got those dessert hours
jelly rolls
that
is so popular.
Alcohol.
Jelly Roll is so popular they charge a cover to get in.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. They already have stuff that's doing so well. I don't know that they would devote an entire expansion to a new Disney Springs that's just for adults.
I don't know if they would do it. I think they should do it.
Oh no, I mean,
I think it would be a lucrative venture for them.
Yeah.
I think if they turned a part of like Blizzard Beach into something that was a real place where adults felt like they were getting away from a theme park.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Sean in that they won't do it, but I think that they should do it because the dink life is real. You know what I mean? And there are more people who have double incomes that don't have kids.
I agree with that, but I also think still Disney's target demographic is not the dink. It's not. Their target demographic. The reason they're making all these hotel expansions and park expansions and everything they can possibly charge you another $1 for on property. Their target audience is the family of 5 or 6, not the couple in their 30s that is going down for the weekend.
But imagine a reallocation of a certain like unprofitable area of the property to begin with, right?
Like the Norway Pavilion.
No, like
adults only Norway Pavilion is coming in by 2035. That's right.
JJ mentions Blizzard Beach, right? They really haven't had both water parks open.
I forget
at the
water
same
parks
time.
exist entirely,
right? So imagine taking half of one and just like saying this is kind of like an adult only area. Like I don't know, that could be something. I don't love it in a water park. I would like it more in like an area of springs, maybe. That
what
is
about a full-on hotel, a deluxe resort that was adults only?
What if you took the NBA Experience building that was Disney Quest and the NBA Experience and it completely fails and make it into a boutique hotel where you're staying literally in Disney Springs?
If only Disney tried to open up a boutique hotel with a specific theme.
Yeah, that never.
It didn't absolutely crater in less than a year.
That seems crazy. That's gotta work really well.
Make it $5,000 for 2 nights.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Anyway, I had the odds at plus 300 on that.
Yeah, I think odds would be a little higher.
Never gonna happen.
Yeah. Never gonna happen.
Never gonna happen.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, those are all my prompts. That was the first. That was the first of hopefully many renditions of Mouse Kings.
I like this Mouse Kings. Completely coincidental if it sounds like anything else.
And that's again promo code.
Shohei Ohtani's interpreter has no stake in the in the Mouse Kings.
Well, he didn't use promo code ReedyGeeks.
He did not use promo code ReedyGeeks. You know what, everyone? Whenever you're signing up for anything, just use promo code ReedyGeeks and see if it works.
Eventually, they'll come find us.
Yeah.
That'll do it for another episode of the Reedy Geek Podcast. Thanks for listening. Catch us again next time, and like and follow our socials for additional content.
That was terrible. Horrendous. I'm offended. I'm appalled. So what are we going to do? Oh, what else? Email it to everybody we know. Good idea.
This week's Honest Send-Off comes courtesy of Statler and Waldorf from, it just says The Balcony. If you have an Honest Send-Off that you want played at the end of one of our episodes, please submit an audio clip to us via our email address, reedygeeks@gmail.com. Reedy Geeks, a Walt Disney World podcast, is hosted and executive produced by Andrew Shopey, Sean Murphy, and JJ Hefner. Music and audio engineering by JJ Hefner.
Bon voyage.